The International Space Station is a big success. With a green light from President CatStronauts, you can now expand the station by adding on all the modules. It's up to the CatStronauts to move them to the right spots as each arrives. Bring them online one at a time before time runs out.
Hey everybody, I'm Evan.
I'm Finn.
And today we're going to be reviewing CatStronauts, the board game.
Yep.
This is a 1-4 player cooperative family weight type game. The box says it's for ages 10 plus, and it takes about 30 to 60 minutes to play. So let's go do a quick how to play, and then we'll come back and tell you what we think about it.
Yep.
In a game of CatStronauts, the board game, give each player a player board, a character card that slots right in there with the power side up. You have a one-time use per game power. Give each person a random encouraging speech, which allows once per game you to give someone else or yourself a free action, and then give each player 2 random item cards, gear cards. Okay. Also give them a reference card, which shows all of the possible references. In a 2-player game, each player has 3 actions per turn. In other player counts, you get 2 actions per turn. Okay? Find the core mission card, put it right there. Find these tiles with these backs, and arrange how the space station will start to look. It doesn't really matter how they are as long as they are considered online. And for them to be online, all the doorways have to match, and the space tile has to be touching a wall. This is not the most ideal setup. There is a suggested setup in the rulebook. Okay, put the rest of the gear cards here, and then deal out 3. Put that right there. Give each player their matching standee. Someone takes the first player token. It slots right in there on the player board. Take a power level token. In the rule book, there's a little chart here that shows you a range of starting power levels. You would want it to be higher if you want an easier game, or lower to have a harder game. So put that on your designated starting power level. Take this little launch token and put it here based on the number of players. Take the rest of the tokens, pile them right there. Okay, shuffle up this stack of other space station cards and put them right there. Then take these alert deck cards, shuffle them up, put them right there. They have sorts of things that will hurt you as the game goes on, or slow your progress anyway. Put them right there. After your first game, the rulebook suggests you also take these emergency mission cards and shuffle up a number of them according to the player count. But for your first game, it says do not use these. Then you're basically ready to start the game. So on your turn, you have so many certain actions. You can move, so you would put your starting cat here in the Catstro Lounge. So you can move up to 2 tiles. You can pick up or drop a token, one of these here. You can share with another person on your tile. You can share gear cards or things like that. You can gear up, which is just to take a card from the supply, an item card from the supply or the top of the deck. You can build, which is how you win the game. You have to have all of these tiles built. You can use module. The module is the one listed on, by the symbol on each tile. If you want to know what all of those mean, they are in the end of the rulebook, but they're pretty simple. or you can complete the mission, which is the core mission right there. So, in order to win the game, you have to bring all the modules online. That's these. You have to boot up the main computer. That is in here somewhere, which comes with this little on switch. It starts with off. Flip it on to activate, to power up the space station. Then you have to get to the reentry pod, which is also in here. And then you have to launch the reentry pod with making sure that everyone is there. So, whenever a warning card is revealed out of the item deck, that is when you draw an alert card. A lot of them will either make you discard items, or there's an emergency meeting in one of the rooms, so you have to all go there, gather there immediately. So sometimes it just kind of messes you up a little bit. These tuna cards are wild; they can be used for any symbol. But in order to build a module, you have to pay the cost shown on the back of the top of the tile. So in this case, you would need 3 satellite symbols on your cards or on the gear cards in your hand. Then you have to build it next to wherever your character is standing. So in this case, I could build it right here. If you ever come across one that doesn't line up properly, sometimes if a door is blocked, you have to go out to this robot arm here to rearrange the tiles. Depending on just how the order of these come out, sometimes you're going to have to do that. Then at the end of every turn, the power level drops. If it drops to 0, you lose the game. And then once all of... let's find the right one here. Yes. So once you find the main computer, switch it on after all of them have been built, and then you get to the reentry pod and activate that to get into the pod. As long as you still have power, then you launch off and you win the game. And that's basically how you play CatStronauts, the board game. All right, so that is how you play CatStronauts, the board game. Yeah. Okay. So similar to other reviews on this channel, we're going to be going through a few points. Talking about those, going through what we think of different things about the game, and then we'll have a score for you at the end. Yep. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to talk about is the theme and the mechanics. Tell me about the theme, Finn.
Well, I mean, obviously the theme is the CatStronauts.
Okay, so what are the CatStronauts before we go any further?
Well, they're like a book series about these like 4 cats-ish that went into space, really. We have my favorite one, Waffles, right here.
So, you've probably been reading these CatStronaut books since you've been able to read, probably. Yeah. Right? Yeah. They're definitely... how old are you now? You are 12?
12, yes.
So, they're probably aimed at someone younger than 12. Mm-hmm. But the game, I would say, isn't necessarily for little kids.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the theme is you are cats in space having adventures and trying to assemble the space station, correct?
Yeah.
So it is a cooperative game.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the way the game works mechanically?
It's fun because like you get all these different things. You need to put on all the modules. Correct.
So there's a module stack and you have to build them all.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the alert system where things constantly can go wrong?
It's fun because like, oh wow, I'm about to build this thing. Alert! Now you're in the gear locker.
I think as far as the gameplay goes, I think it's probably just a minor inconvenience most of the time. They're not usually too game breaking. I want to say that we played this only once with 4 and mostly just with 2. A bunch of times with 2.
Yeah.
Do you feel it was easier or harder at 2 players?
Well, it was easier at 2 players, but it was our first time playing when we were at 4 players.
Okay. So the game has a way to scale the difficulty because your power drops at the end of every round, and you can kind of adjust your starting power value to either make it easier or harder.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let's move on to aesthetics and components. How do you feel about the aesthetics of this game? How does this game look?
I forgot what aesthetics means.
That is how this game looks.
Oh, okay. It looks nice. It does. I like how it looks. We got the little guys right here.
Yeah, so as far as aesthetics go, I would say that it nails it perfectly.
Yeah.
Because if you pick up one of the CatStronauts books, it looks exactly like this. That is because the person who made this game is the writer and the artist of the books.
Yeah.
So this is a passion project of his. I know he worked on this for a long time. And then, it got picked up as a game, and it was on Kickstarter, and now it's out for release. Like all the art is his, and everything is really cute. Everything matches perfectly, like in the world of CatStronauts.
Yeah.
So back to these standees. How do you feel about the components of this game?
I like them. Like you get the little tiles.
The tiles,
and
yes.
stuff. Pretty cool.
But yeah, I think these standees are really nice. I wouldn't want anything other than these. These acrylic ones are cool because it shows the cats floating in space.
Yeah.
And it kind of, and then the card art is the same way. Really adorable. The little
encouraging speeches.
The encouraging speech cards are really fun. I do have a couple of minor issues. The dual layer board is nice, but once you get to that last card in the stack, it can be kind of hard to pick it up out of the tray.
Oh yeah.
And that goes the same for the player boards. If you're trying to flip your card to off duty, sometimes getting it out of there is not always the easiest to do. And that the speech one is the same. The gear cards have notches here at the bottom, so they slide in and out.
Yeah.
I kind of wish these spaces were also like that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if you don't have a fingernail, or sometimes I have to use another card to kind of dig it out of the well. I think in theory these dual layers are nice. I would just wish there was an easier way to get them out of there.
Yeah.
That's my only really issue with the components. Everything else looks great.
Yep.
Functions great.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the production on the game is very, very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So then let's move on to replayability and variability. So how do you feel about the replayability of this game?
I mean you can do the new characters each time too.
The game,
and you also don't know which warning's gonna come out.
The base game comes with 4 characters.
Yeah.
So the maximum, if you're playing a 4-player game, they're all going to be in the game. Yes, you don't know exactly. So okay, the issue with this is I think you're kind of doing the same thing every time.
Yeah.
But the puzzle's going to be slightly different every time. Because we've played games where the order of the tiles came out perfectly. Everything lined up perfectly.
Yeah.
And then we've played games where the tiles, none of the tiles wanted to line up perfectly.
No.
We had to put them offline, multiple offline, and then go back and fix it later.
With the robot
Right.
arm
So-
and stuff.
So again, it's just kind of a minor, variability change.
Yeah.
Where it's just going to be a slightly different puzzle every time, but essentially you are kind of doing the same thing every time.
Yeah.
Building the space station, flipping it on, dealing with the alerts and the warnings that come up, and then taking off in the ship.
Yup.
Yeah, with the characters, they do have slightly different powers.
Yeah.
And then it comes with a deck of emergency missions.
Yeah.
And would you say the emergency missions make it harder or easier?
Well, I'm not really sure, because you get 1 power when you complete them, but sometimes you don't have said module to complete it.
Right, so it's interesting, because I almost think I want to say it even makes it, I don't want to say it makes it easier,
No,
but I don't think it makes it harder. Yes, it's extra things you have to do.
Yeah.
So the way it works is if you mix in the number of the number of players plus 2 into the deck, and you have to complete. Do you have to complete the number of players? Either way, you have to complete a certain number of emergency missions to complete the game.
Yeah.
Another minor negative is the rulebook is not super clear if you have to complete. It does not say you have to complete all of the emergency missions, because sometimes extra ones come out of the deck and they just I'm not sure. It says you don't have. It says you have to do the number like based on player count. I'm not sure if you have to do all of them. We have not been playing it that you have to do all of them that happen to come out of the deck.
So.
But overall, I'd say the replayability is okay. I think for a game geared at families, with children who would be fans of like the book series, I think that's probably a good thing that it's not super different, because I think you can kind of play it multiple times and be familiar with it, and then probably even get a little bit better at it about how you play your turns. And since it's cooperative, you're talking and trying to figure out the puzzle anyway. Before we move on, I do want to mention that there is an expansion. We have not played with this.
Yeah.
This adds more tiles, more characters, more alerts, and there's
Fish finder satellite stuff.
Correct. There's like another goal where you have to build the satellite. We have not played with this yet, but I'd imagine that this would add some
more difficulty.
Well, I was going to say replayability and variability to the game. Okay, so let's talk about the length versus the experience.
All right.
Do you think this game is too short, too long, just the right amount of time?
Well, I mean, I don't really like playing games that are very long.
Right.
And I feel like it's the perfect length, like 20-ish, 25 minutes-ish.
Do you think it only takes us 25 minutes to play this? For just the two of us?
I have literally no clue.
I can't imagine it's more than like a half an hour for the two of us, having played it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
The first time with 4, it ran a little bit longer, but then we were learning how to play the game.
Yeah.
So I would say the length, especially at 2 players, is pretty good versus the experience that you get, especially if you're playing with children or people with lower attention spans. It's not going to overstay like its welcome.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then let's talk about potential different strategies. Can you talk about the strategies?
Well, I mean, sometimes you gotta go outside to the robot arms so you can move your thing.
Yeah, I guess we kind of talked about that before.
And also, some things have this energy symbol, which means that you have to put an energy token there, and if you go grab that increases your power track.
Right, because if your power drops, the game is over.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't need that, but
it's probably always a good idea to grab them.
Yeah.
So I would say, as far as like strategies, like different strategies every game, like trying different strategies, I don't think that's really there. No. I think you're basically going to do whatever is best at that moment.
Yeah.
I don't think there's like a lot of variable strategies, but I think in a game like this, I think that's okay.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Okay. So the next question is, do you have any additional negatives? Any things you did not like about the game?
Negatives?
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I was going to mention that I think the rulebook could have used one more editing, like another couple of pair of eyes on it, because there's some things that they don't tell you. One of them was about the emergency missions. Like, if they keep coming out, do you have to do them all or just do the required number? A lot of times it's really weird. There's like assumptions that we make as gamers when setting up a game, like shuffle the card decks. It does not tell you to shuffle the card decks.
But
it does not tell you to shuffle the tile stack.
Yeah.
It just says put it on the table. So does that mean you're not allowed to look at the next tile that's coming up? Because it actually doesn't say. Because you're building them one at a time based on what is on the back of them. Are you allowed to look at the next one? I'm not sure. There's just a couple of little clarifications in the rulebook I think would have helped.
Yeah.
Especially if, say, you're a parent who's not played a lot of games and you're buying this for your 6-year-old who likes this book series.
Yeah.
The rulebook might fight against you a little bit. And that's really my only additional negative. Is there anything else, Finn, that you can think of?
I don't think so.
Okay. So you'd say probably everything is generally pretty ideal for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then that brings us to the question: is it fun?
Yes.
Care to elaborate?
Yes. Well, I obviously I love the characters.
Yes.
Having read the books a bunch of times. And the encouraging speeches are lovely. Why do we have 9 lives? So we can try our hardest 9 times.
Right. Okay. So I think that would say there's a lot of charm and personality in this game.
Yeah.
That if you're willing to, kind of buy into this world, and again, if you have children who've either read the series or not even read the series, because maybe this will, bring them to the book series.
Yeah.
Because it's a fun world. I think it's a fun game, especially as a family game, right? Like, I don't think your hardcore Friday night game group is going to want to play this together.
No.
No. I think this is aimed at, families with children, younger children.
Yeah.
But even at 12, we have a good time with it.
Yep.
So yeah, I think this is fun. So another question, Finn, is who would you recommend this to? Who is this game for?
Me.
So a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you recommend it? I don't think if parents bought this for their 7-year-olds, I think they would. I don't think they could play. Do you think they could play it on their own?
Not on their own. They would have to have the help of said parents.
Yeah. Okay. So again, bringing it to a family game.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other points? Also, it did come with a comic.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to read.
So it's basically a quick little story of the CatStronauts playing this particular board game. So that's pretty cute. Are there any other things you want to say about this game?
Don't think so.
Okay, so if you had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
8.
8. Okay.
Yeah.
Why an 8? Why not a 9?
Well, because the variability and replayability does give it off from a 10, and then I know this is just me being goofy, but in the books, Blanket is taller than all of the others, and I do not see that.
Well, they're the standees have them floating.
They are floating.
They're floating in space, so it's kind of hard to tell, right? Okay, so I would say it's not a game that you're going to want to play all the time. You're probably not going to want to play it 4 or 5 times in a row. But however, if you have young kids that really like this, they might want to play it that many times in a row. And I think that's okay. So I'm going to land on a 7. I think as a cooperative game, I think it's a very solid cooperative game. I think the mechanics work really well together. I don't think it's particularly punishing, because there are ways to make it harder or easier. There are some rules in the rule book. I didn't even really read them, about playing with really, really young kids, kind of just to have the CatStronaut experience. Yeah. I think it kind of makes it less of a challenging puzzle type game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to land it on a 7. Finn gives it an 8.
8.
And that's CatStronauts, the board game.
It's a board game.
It is a board game, and I think I would recommend it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's going to wrap up this review, everybody.
Bye.
We'll see you on the next one.